Okay, so in this video, what we're going to look at is simply how to sell a tattoo so that we could make some money. Okay, so I'm going to just take this fairly nice picture. I'm going to right mouse click on it and I'm going to copy the image. We're going to go across to Image Composer and I'm going to paste the image in here. Okay, so let's use our zoom function so that you can see the picture a little bit better on your camera. Okay, all right, so here's our picture and we want to advertise this on Facebook. Generally this tattoo would take about 2.5 hours because of the detail. It's not a very large tattoo on the forearm, but let's get it prepared. Okay, so the first thing that we would do is we need to cut out the tattoo and get rid of the background, which we don't need. So I'm going to use a curve cutout tool. Okay, so of the cutout tools that we have available, we have rectangle, circle, curve, and straight line or polygon. And we're just going to grab the freehand. And this is used by going click, move the mouse, click, move the mouse, click. Okay, so just doing about 6 or 7 clicks, maybe 7 or 8, depending, seems like about 6 is fine, and cut out. Okay, so we now have the design cut out, and I will delete the background pressing the delete key. Okay, so I fancy to make it a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the shift key on my keyboard and then drag the corner and just make it a bit bigger. If you don't press the shift key, it distorts the image. All right, so as you can see, this is on human skin, and so you can see the yellow and pinky tones of the skin tones, and we want to get rid of those. So we're going to go to our brushes and we're going to choose the colorize one, which is this one that looks like a rainbow in the center of our color of our brushes. And once I have that, I'm going to make sure it's on 60% over here and that it's large and as it can be. And then I'm going to click on, oops, okay. So what we need to do is I'm going to just click undo. We need to make sure that our color is on white. So I'm going to click on our palette and white is right down the bottom here. Okay, so here's white. If I'm on true color, if I'm on the palettes, white is over there. So I'm going to click OK. All right, so now I'm going to reselect the object, get my colorize tool, and I'm going to click my mouse down and go crazy. So just wiggle it all around over the forward and back, round and round a few times like that, and that's looking much better. Okay, I'm going to do this a second time. So what I'm going to do is click one of the other tools, any one, it doesn't matter which one, and then select the color tool again. That'll reset it, and then I can just put my mouse down and go. And this is a very intelligent tool. As you can see, it removes everything except the black lines and some of the shading. Once I've done that, I'm going to take a eraser, a rubber, and I'm going to make sure the eraser is nice and big, okay, and I'm going to take it down to about 60%, my favorite value. Let's just make it exactly 60. There we go, not that it's important. And then I'm just going to go along the edge here and just fuzz out the edges a little bit, just in case there's some colors there that I want to get rid of, like that. These little edges, there we go, something like that. Okay, now what we need is we need a piece of paper. So I'm going to go to our shape tool, which is over here, okay, and it shows a few shapes in the icon. I'm going to click on that and you'll see I can make a square shape, a round oval shape, I can make a curved shape, or I can make a polygon. So I'm just going to take a square shape and I'm going to pull a basic shape that looks like an A4 piece of paper, like that, and create. All right, so the shape I've just made is on top of my image, so I'm going to go right mouse click and select send to back. So it now puts it behind the image, and then I can draw a square around the two images like that, and then right mouse click and flatten selection. This will make them into a single image. Okay, so I have an A4 piece of paper, more or less, with the design on. And what I would suggest you do is you save this so that if you sell this tattoo, you have the original. So that's quite important. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to have a table, a 3D table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go onto Google and I'm going to put table. Now, oopsie, I think I need to say wooden. Okay, wooden table. And let's look at some images. Okay, so I need a wooden table, and so far I'm not seeing anything very nice. Oh, this one looks super nice, except I don't like the green bit there, so that's not that cool. Empty wooden table, let's have a look. Okay, that's not bad. So I'm going to right mouse, oh, hang on. If I scroll down here, I can see some other tables. Oops, this one. Yeah, that one looks pretty good. I like that one. Okay, so right mouse click and copy, cross to image composer and paste. Okay, so there's my table. Oh, that looks really, really cool. Okay, I'm going to bring this to front. And I'm going to take my A4 piece of paper and I'm going to put it in the air above my table. So I think that looks really good. Okay, so now what I've got to do is I've got to lie this piece, this drawing on the table. So I'm going to use my shift and grab the corner. Let's make the paper a little bit smaller, like that. And then I'm going to rotate it. So let's rotate it a little bit like that. Okay, and yeah, I think that looks fairly respectable. And then I'm just going to grab this corner and I'm just going to squash it down like that. Okay, so maybe just a touch more, like that. Okay, all right, so we now have a piece of paper lying on a table. It doesn't look realistic because we need a drop shadow. So we would go down here to our effects. And then on our effects tool here, we're going to choose drop shadow. So I'm just going to press D, it'll jump here. There's, you can see drop shadow, choose that. And here I can, on the details tab, I can select the angle that I want the light to shine at, the color of the shadow. So I'm just going to use black, but I could use any range of colors. So perhaps it shouldn't be black, it should just be a bit dark. That might be nice. I can make it hard or soft, the shadow, and you can fiddle around with the distance that the shadow is, etc. Okay, I'm just going to apply that and let's have a look at the effect. Oops, sorry. Okay, so we have a drop shadow around our table picture, which is not what we want. I need to select my piece of paper and apply the drop shadow. And now you'll see there's a drop shadow appeared along here and here. Okay, but I don't have a shadow here, and I think it would look much nicer with one over there. So what I'm going to do is choose a different effect, go back to the drop shadow, choose the selection tab, change the angle of the light now to go towards the small end, and click apply. And now you'll see that we have a shadow on both sides. Okay, so having done that, we now need to get a pencil. So again, we would go to Google and we would type in here pencil, and let's go to images. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of pencils, and I want one that looks particularly impressive. This one looks pretty good. Okay, I quite like it. The picture's fairly sharp. So I'm going to copy the image, go to Image Composer, Control V to paste it. Okay, so there's my image, and I will need to get rid of the background. Okay, so what I could do is I could use a magic wand. So I could get my magic wand like this. Let's change this color so we can see what we're doing to a bright color like yellow. And if I click over here, oh, sorry, I didn't click OK on my color. There we go. Let's try that again. Sorry, it's getting very confused here. Right, okay. Sorry, I was halfway through selecting. Okay, so something like that. Okay. There we go. Finally, we have our yellow in our box. Okay, so if I grab the magic wand and I click, you can see it grabs all the area which I don't want. But if you look really closely, so if I zoom in a little bit, you'll see there's all little white bits around the edge. Now I could just go along, but what it's going to do is it's going to start infiltrating into the actual pencil itself, which isn't really cool. But that seems to have done the trick. Let's just zoom out a little bit, maybe at 100. Okay, that looks pretty good, and I'm going to click erase. Okay, so I should now have my pencil, and if I take my pencil and I put it onto my drawing, you can see my pencil's a little bit on the big side, so we can rotate the pencil a little bit, maybe something like that, and we can make it a bit smaller, something like that, and place my pencil over there. Now that doesn't look very realistic because it doesn't have a drop shadow. Okay, so we can just click on our effects, drop shadow is already selected, and click apply. Okay, so we now have a drop shadow, and there is our picture. So we are now ready to publish this image on the internet, and we can then offer this on a buy swap sell site or a classified site, and we can run a for sale advert. There's many Facebook platforms for sales, and you would put this on and just say, prepared this image today, anybody interested in getting this tattoo done, and you can put the price. Hopefully that helps you, and you'll be able to put forward some very nice artwork onto the internet and be able to get a nice image from these. Thank you.